What is really good, everybody? It is your boy, the one and only Parlay Lord, here to set it off with another episode of Knicks and Ish. Let's talk about tonight's game against the LA Lakers. Once again, another brilliant defensive performance by the New York Knicks in the second half of this game to give the Knicks 6 consecutive wins by a score of 112 to 100. No, Karl Anthony Towns or Jalen Brunson did not lead the way with scoring. It's surprising that the person that I've advocated for so long, my guy, OG Anunoby, led the New York Knicks tonight in scoring. Over 20 points again, three three-pointers or more once again. Not to mention our good friend, ShamWow, a.k.a. Landry Shamet, coming off the bench with 20 points tonight. And once again, the New York Knicks find a way in the second half to control the tempo and pace of the game en route to a marquee victory and 6 consecutive wins. Join me, the Parlay Lord, and the rest of the Knicks and Ish panel tonight as we get into the recap of the Lakers and Knicks, and we also talk that Knicks and Ish tonight. So, as I always say, hit the intro.
Boom shakalaka! The Knicks are great. These kids and our party just lit. That's the Parlay Lord. You know we lick Knickerbocker, have a talk to him. Let's go! Drip, 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 drip. Six and Nish. Drip, 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 drip. We lit.
Yeah. Live and direct once again on your YouTube screen. It is another episode of Knicks and Ish. Y'all already know the rivalry because I am the one and only Parlay Lord, aka Frash Taz, here in the building with the Knicks and Ish panel. Never limited to, but always including the First Lady of Knicks and Ish, Mrs. Knicks, is in the building. Join me with a great salute to the one and only Knickerbocker Ave. And, of course, my good brother, Ripana, the one and only Yatu Sabe. And as always, press like for your favorite channels. Sharing as always, Karen. If you're new, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that bell. Set it to all so you get all notifications when Knicks and Ish goes live. Who's in the comments right now? Yeah. Here we go. Sis, what up? Darlene is in the building. What up, sis? It's really good. What up, Karl? Jimmy J1, you already know the vibes, my good brother. Apocalypse, we see you in the building. Welcome in. Definitely we're going to get into that in a second. Kevin Enriquez, welcome in. Michael Brown, you already know the vibes. Welcome in. Matty Ice, my good brother, Matty Ice. What is the deal, my God? And of course, big shout out to my brother King Q right here. You already know what it is. I got something for you later on, King Q. Don't worry. Per your request, I got you. Don't worry. I'm gonna take care of that later. All right, but you know what it is. Let me set the stage real quick, and I'm gonna let the panel give their initial thoughts, like always. 6 straight wins for the New York Knicks as the Knicks get a marquee victory on Sunday night NBC basketball, 112 to 100 over the Los Angeles Lakers, led by OG Anunoby with 25 points. Of course, Josh Hart is back in full effect, but I'm not even gonna get into all that yet. I'm gonna let the panel take it away. Somebody tell me what's going on.
30 assists. 30 fucking assists. Wins basketball games. I don't know how many times I have to say it. My stats, I mean, it speaks for itself, right? Like every time we hit over 25, we're winning basketball games. The Knicks did what they were supposed to do. Put belt to ass in the second half. Locked them up in the third quarter. Did what we needed to do to get the win. Yes, our stars didn't have good games. They combined for what, 23 points? But who cares? Because we're deep. We got other guys that can do the damn thing. OG Anunoby. Game after game, he's shown us he's looking to score this season. He ain't backing down from nobody. He's looking to score this season. Josh Hart doing Josh Hart things. I feel like when Josh Hart pulls up for that three, it's going in every time. That's just how it feels. Do y'all feel that way, chat? Cause that's how I feel. Motherfucking
hard to
Landry
argue.
Shamet. Landry Shamet. Boy was on fire. He hit the dagger. He shut them up. It was over. When he hit the 2 threes in the fourth, it was a wrap. Like I said, Jalen didn't have a good game, but he still contributed to winning. He had 13 assists. That's great basketball from, the point guard that don't know how to pass the ball. That one. 13 assists. Y'all take that. Tyler Kolek had a good game for the minutes that he played. I mean, everyone was impactful that set foot on the court today. Happy win because this Lakers team ain't a soft team.
Kind of hard to argue with that. First, everybody, shout out to everybody in the chat. Thank you so very much for joining us tonight on a Sunday night, no less, on the premiere of the NBA on NBC Sunday Night Basketball. 1 week out from the Super Bowl, but it's all about basketball now, and that was a game. A game where you had Luka shooting just pretty much from anywhere he wanted, contributing 30 points, almost had a triple-double again. LeBron was doing LeBron shit. He's not the greatest of all time, but the man still plays ball at a high level, even at 41 years of age. 23rd year in the season, might have been the final game that he ever plays in Madison Square Garden. I don't know for sure, but who knows? But the Knicks took care of business tonight. They kept the game close when the Lakers were up in the first half, but they clamped down the defense. They cut down on the passing lane. They made the Los Angeles Lakers pay 19 points for 11 of their turnovers. They were subject to 7 Knicks steals. They were doing everything that we expected the Lakers to do, but the Knicks answered and responded. And what more can you say about that? That was just an incredible game, especially when the 2 All-Stars. And by the way, congratulations, as always, to Karl Anthony Towns, your 2025-26 NBA All-Star. But he didn't have a good game tonight. Another guy who I thought who should be an all-star, OG Anunoby, showed you why he should have been. I'm just saying. He probably took that all-star stuff and just like, fuck that, hold my beer.
Kev?
Listen. I thought we played a pretty good game. I think we struggled a little bit in the beginning, but we never gave up. They fought hard, even though Jalen Brunson didn't have such a good shooting night, overall. But like you said, Anna, the way that he moved the ball around with those 13 assists was key to winning this game. The same thing with Karl Anthony Towns. I'm glad he gave us a double-double. I wish he would have did a little bit more. I mean, I know he tried to be aggressive as he could, but I think that had he been way more aggressive than he was, I think he would have ate and alive, because I really personally I really felt like when I was watching it, he couldn't handle Cat defensively. I felt like there was a couple of times he made a couple of moves to the basket on him where he just got shook up, and you know, if he would have did more of that, I think he would have scored way more points than what he did. I'm not saying, anything negative. I just think that he should have been a little bit more aggressive. The 13 assists was big. Shout out to Josh, OG, and Shamet, man. Like, them guys really held it down for us. We had our stars had a tough shooting game. They wasn't really playing that well. So shout out to them guys, man. We should give them. I wish we had 3 pairs of Tim boots, and so they can all 3 of them get them shits, because the way they played, man, they held it down for us. Because even Mikal Bridges was off too. He only had 10 points. But I'm this was a big win for us. I felt like I told Av in the chat that, I mean, before the show, like, this was he said that, this was gonna be a statement win, and I had to agree with it, man. This was a big win for us because, the Lakers still are a good team, with Luka and fucking LeBron and shit like that. So, the fact that we was able to come back in that third quarter and fucking put up almost 40 points on them, that was a big plus for us. So shout out to the guys, shout out to Kolek, even the bench players, that gave it their best. I wish Diawara would have got some more burn in this game. It would have been nice to see, but my man Tyler, man, every time I see him on the court, I just get excited because, the kid has a lot of talent. As you can see, he had that Laker team frustrated at times, and he made a good couple of defensive plays on Luka that I was kind of impressed with. That's not easy to do against Luka Doncic. So, I'm liking what I'm seeing from Tyler, man, and I hope that he continues to get more playing time because that kid is super talented. And like I keep saying, man, he brings something different to this team and that we need, you know what I mean? And it helped out. So shout out to the guys, big win, and shout out to everybody that pulled up.
I don't know if it's been awarded yet, but real quick to the panel and everybody in the chat, who deserves the pair of Tims tonight? If you had to pick one player, Fraz, who gets the Tims tonight?
Shamet.
All right.
Shut the door.
Sis?
OG.
I think they just stay in his locker at this point.
I mean, he had 3 steals. That was huge. Like,
Yeah, 3 steals in a block, right? I'm gonna say OG too.
All right, he didn't get a block. I don't know, dude. I saw a tweet earlier tonight that there is one person that has yet to win the pair of Tims.
Jalen.
And you know what? I was impressed with, the defensive prowess that he was in, the effort he gave on defense, because there was a couple of possessions where he was giving LeBron and Doncic fits.
Yeah, Jalen.
So despite the fact that he did not have the offensive game tonight, only 12 points, but he had 7 rebounds. I think that's a season high.
Yes.
So if Jalen did not win the Tims, I mean, I'm sure Sis is already looking it up to see who does, but I'd say Jalen would probably win the pair of Tims tonight. He should at least get the hard hat. And I mean, who do you guys think? Hit us up with a super chat. Who do you think wins the pair of Tims tonight in your eyes? Is it Shamet? Is it OG? Is it the captain? Well, heck, you can even say the newest All-Star, Karl Anthony Towns. I mean, I think that what you guys were saying is absolutely accurate. Ayton had his moments where he was bodying him, but at the same time, when Cat was down low, Ayton had no answer, none whatsoever. He couldn't keep Cat up. He couldn't box out Cat properly. He couldn't get up there, to box him out at all. He couldn't keep him off the second chance poise. And really, let's be honest. I know Cat didn't really do anything from downtown, but if you start him up at the top of the key, Ayton as an average defender at best, he couldn't keep up with him. They needed the second and third, and third opportunities to go after him, and so I would like to see tonight. It's Jalen, but if you give it to Cat, I'm okay with that.
All right. So first and foremost, shout out everybody in the building. Y'all know what it is. Y'all know the vibe. This game tonight, simply put, is another reason why I always tell y'all here on Knicks and Ish that I wasn't really too worried about, dealing with the losing streak and, we lost 9 of 11 games and all that. No. You're still talking about a first-year team that's now 31-18. Just won 6 games in a row. Again, we already told you here, Knicks and Ish, the timely win streak was coming. Here it is, once again, looking at us in the face like, hello. Know what I'm saying? But at the same token, shout out to Landry Shamet, because it ain't easy coming off the bench to go 8 for 13 from the field, 6 of 10 from 3 in 26 minutes. And hit, once again, timely clutch baskets to put the other team away and put the game on ice. He lives for the moment. He brings that energy. You could tell, I say it all the time, he was meant to get that last roster spot. You know what I mean? And he shows you why every time he on that court. Despite the fact that our 2 stars didn't have great games, they both had double-doubles. Even Brunson was flirting with a triple-double if he would have had 3 rebounds. Of course, look at that. You see? Shaman. Look, the ShamWow. Yeah. You see it? Look at these buckets. Like, come on, man. Like, timely hooping. Like that's key to success on any basketball team, at any level of basketball. Timely hooping. And again, this team is starting to find its stride together as a collective unit and not just as individuals playing together. There's a big difference between the two. If you're a basketball player, you know what I'm talking about, right? I think the level of trust is going up. The level of effort has shown up and shown out once again. Because guys is giving maximum effort. And I said it all the time. If guys is giving maximum effort in these games, we win in most of these games. And once again, it's a testament to why we are dominant at Madison Square Garden. Because ain't nobody coming into the Garden no more to just think they're going to get an easy one. It don't work like that no more. Right? And the most important thing that I've been stressing, and I'm going to land the plane after this, is the simple fact that I said it before, I say it again, this team is built to win even when guys like Brunson and Cat is not having good games. That was the key of bringing in key guys on the bench, so that way when the stars are struggling, you got other guys that's going to pick up the slack. So you always got to worry about a scoring threat no matter who's on the floor. That's the key, and that's the reason why the success of the New York Knicks is continuing to show. And as long as we continue to play New York Knicks basketball, like Sis always said, listen, we winning ball games, man. Y'all know what it is.
Quick question is that the New York Knicks outscored the Lakers 34-23 from points off the bench. All this happening with Gershon Yabusele not getting burned, Jordan Clarkson basically in the doghouse. Miles McBride hasn't played in over a week. What does that say about how deep our bench really is? Kev, I'll start with you. And
he heard you, or
I'm sorry, my bad, bro. I couldn't hear you. What she said again?
All right. So to recap, the Knicks bench outscored the Lakers 34-23. That's without Gershon Yabusele, without Jordan Clarkson, and without Deuce McBride, who hasn't played in over a week. What does that say to you about how deep this bench really is?
I mean, and that's just because we miss, and that's just, and we missing Deuce, who's been hurt. Right. So, I mean, it says a lot because we expected a lot from Jordan Clarkson and Yabusele. So the fact that Shamet is stepping up the way he is, and Tyler stepping up the way he is. It says a lot on the kind of talent that we have. So, I mean, if somehow, some way they could be able to add to it, it'll be even better than what it is. You know what I mean? Because we're, for them to be able to give us what we're given is a huge is huge for us. So, shout out to them, but we still got to get them guys help. You know what I mean? We still got to get them guys help.
What does that say about the bench? It's like I've been saying all along. This is the reason why you outfitted the bench the way you did, because you got guys that can pick up the slack and score when the stars ain't scoring, when other guys ain't there. Next man up, there's gonna be not much of a fall off the cliff, and it shows that you could get that level of play from pretty much anybody you put in there, and that's the key to being successful as a team in the NBA. You got other guys that step up and can play in these clutch moments and say, "I got y'all," and hit key shots.
My apologies, Sis.
I mean, it just shows how deep we are as a team altogether. Like, I don't know that our bench is truly deep. I know we have guys on the bench that can score a lot in Landry and Deuce alone. I think, we don't use our bench enough, in my opinion. Is that me? No, that's not me. But I mean, it speaks to the depth of the team altogether. The fact that someone can come off the bench and score 20, 23 in 26 minutes. And let's not forget, Josh is a starter, but really he should have been on with a healthy Mitch, he might be a bench player. So that's another 20. And we know Deuce can throw up 20 easily as well. So we just have guys that score volumes at a volume pace. And so I think we're deep. I still think we're missing a piece of the bench. But I mean, I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining at all. I mean, it's almost like any given night, right? Like any given night, somebody's gonna give us 20 plus. Who knows who it's gonna be?
Yeah, I think that speaks volumes about the dogs that we have on this team. I mean, given what time of the year it is, and what's slowly approaching at the end of this week, the NBA trade deadline, and all the rumors and all the bullshit that keeps on coming out here. here comes a performance like this from your bench, from guys like Landry Shamet, like guys like Josh Hart, like OG Anunoby, and you see that the next man up mentality is in full effect. But more importantly, I'm reminiscent to another great team first mentality, and it's reminiscent of the 2007 New York Giants. What was their mantra? All in. That's what it looked like tonight. The guys were all in. They were all invested. No matter what the number they were drawn, no matter what the situation called for, they were all in. Pick up that defensive assignment, pick up that loose ball, look out for the open man, and do the grunt work. And I kind of saw that a little bit from everybody, including our all-stars. And so I'm proud that tonight, on primetime television, nationwide coverage, everyone was paying attention because they were watching basketball all day anyway. You saw it. The Knicks defended home court like they've been doing pretty much all season. They took out an opponent, that whether you think that they're contender or not is irrelevant. When you have a Luka Doncic and a LeBron James on the same team, it's like in boxing. A puncher will punch himself out. A punch, all it needs is one knockout punch, and they could have easily have done that. Shit, LeBron's Lakers have been doing that for quite some time. I think the graphic was LeBron is like 24-9, now 24-10, but 24-9 all time at Madison Square Garden. And so we knew, even no matter what their record was, this was a date that we had to circle on the schedule and be like, you know what? Knicks got to come out. And that's why I did say what I said on our group chat. This has to be a statement victory. They need to come out, make a statement, and start off the month on the positive note, because most of us are still reeling from that, 9 of the last 11 losses, to start January. So the fact that they came out tonight, despite the fact that you don't have your perennial sixth man in Deuce McBride, and your two all-stars did not perform, to their typical standard, and you still came out with a victory, that says a lot about the character of this team. And I feel a lot more comfortable now, obviously and evidently, without saying, than I did the beginning of last month.
And I tell you, as long as he keeps giving these kids these opportunities, these kids are gonna stay hungry. They're gonna want it more. Pause, super pause, but they're gonna you know what I'm saying? So, like Tyler Kolek, what he did in the first half, 8 points in 7 minutes with I think it was 2 or 3 assists and a rebound. Good for him. You know what I mean? Shamet, I think it was a combined 20 point. They had 20 points in the first half the bench, because him, Shamet, and Diawara, they played pretty good. So I just feel like Mike Brown just gotta trust these guys, man. Even when Deuce comes back, still play these guys. Don't just don't stop playing them because Deuce is back. You know what I mean? That's just another weapon you add to what you have, because right now you're not getting nothing out of motherfucking Jordan Clarkson and Yabusele. So, see what Mike Brown does, man. I like the adjustment though they made in the second half. Especially defensively, man. They made it difficult for those guys in that third quarter. You know what I mean? I feel like they kind of like locked them up. What I said.
Well, no, actually, it wasn't anything you said, but we do have to pay our dues, pay our respects. Ladies and gentlemen, the host,
The
You know
spark
him.
plug.
The fucking spark plug.
I'm in the building.
And he's laying down. What the fuck? Get back to
Damn,
work.
I'm getting paused.
Nah. They just saw me in the building. Yeah, I'm in the building. You know, I work smart, not hard. You feel me? That's the key. You heard? But yeah, good W tonight. Pack them bum ass Lakers up. Anytime we beat LeBron James makes me smile. Fuck that guy. You feel me? And it was a dope. I know I'm probably gonna repeat some of y'all takes already, but my bad. Uh, it's beautiful to see when you're two. It's beautiful to see when your two-star players don't have it going offensively. They're finding ways to still contribute to winning basketball. I think that was one of the fair knocks on JB throughout the season, or maybe even his tenure here as a Knick. When he don't have it going, he usually keeps on trying to force the issue. Was good, was good. My screen is too small to see what your name is, but was good. Uh, yeah, he still tried to force the issue tonight. He looked to facilitate more, season high in assists for JB, which was 13. 13?
Yeah.
Yeah, 13 assists for JB. Your cat still is on a absolute rebounding tear. You know what I mean? And they're still contributing to winning, even though they're not filling up the offensive stat sheet. You feel me? And that is super impressive. Shout out to my man Sham Wow. You feel me? Shout out to my man Sham Wow, Landry Shamet. He is back in the form. He is back in the form, and he's going to be huge coming off the bench for us. Pause. You know what I mean? Sham Wow, that's facts. Yeah, he's going to be huge coming off the bench for us. Uh, his shooting, his ability to not only shoot, be able to attack the basket, kick, and dish. I mean, the motto: 2 feet in the paint, spray. I don't like that word, but that's what they use. Uh, but yeah, Shan Wild, Josh Hart has been on a tear as well lately. 20 points from Josh Hart, and then what can we say about OG Anunoby? Remember, there was a point in time when people said we overpaid. I remember people saying that we overpaid for OG Anunoby, and now OG Anunoby is looking like the best two-way player in the league as of right now. The best two-way player in the league as of right now. He's doing it all. He's doing it all night for OG. I think he had like 3 steals. You feel me? Like OG Anunoby. Like we should have 3 All-Stars, to be perfectly honest, but it is what it is. You feel me? I ain't mad at nothing. A great win tonight. Great win tonight. I'm gonna land the plane there. I'm gonna stick around for a few more minutes though, but I'm gonna land the plane there.
I'll throw this out to you, T-Time, since I asked the rest of the panel. What does this say about this team, considering, the Knicks did outscore the Lakers by bench points, 34-23. That's without Jordan Clarkson, who was supposed to be our hired gun, without Gershon Yabusele, who's in the doghouse, and without Deuce McBride, who's been injured.
Yeah.
What does that say about our bench, and considering that also our 2 All-Stars did not perform offensively as we would like them to?
So I will, before I start on that question, I will say this: we're gonna have to start raising the question about Deuce McBride's durability because he's always injured. I've started to notice that he's always injured, he's always sick, he's always out. Like his durability is starting to become a question for me. But what this says about our bench is something that we already knew. Our bench is elite, and that's still without the people that Knickerbocker Ave just mentioned. We knew that on any given night that it could be Deuce, it could be Landry, it could have been Jordan that go off for a big night. I just didn't see Landry Shamet being this consistent with his scoring. It's like a almost every night basis. He's 15 or better. 15 or better coming off the bench on an almost every night basis. I just didn't see that like being a thing. Now imagine when dudes get back into the swing of things, it's going to be real trouble. It's going to be real trouble because when Deuce is healthy, you're talking about somebody also that could give you 15 off the bench with ease, right? But his shooting prowess, like, it's going to be a problem. Our bench is which was once considered a weak point for us last year, is shown to be a major asset because we don't win without Landry Shamet's 20 off the bench. 20, he had 23, right?
20.
20,
23.
23. We don't win without Landry Shamet's 23 off the bench tonight. That's a fact. You know what I mean? And, you know, championship teams usually are really deep. Pause. Because that was crazy.
Well,
Nah.
There's something for you, T-Time.
What up? Yeah.
there's no volume. There's no volume.
Yep. I ain't hear it neither. Y'all heard it?
I ain't hear shit.
Oh, my bad. Well, I heard it on my end.
Oh, hopefully they heard it because, yeah, 6 in a row. We're going shrieking through the quad into the gymnasium.
Fuck that. It's too cold. Fuck that. It is way too cold outside.
6 in a row, baby. You feel me? And I'm starting to look at it like this. You know, the Pistons absolutely smoked Brooklyn today, which is hilarious. Another 50-point loss for Brooklyn Nets it's pretty fucking hilarious. But yeah, I'm just saying, even they not safe at number one. That's all I'm saying. Well, they got us for like 5.5 games. They're not safe. There's a lot of basketball left to be played, and if we keep up this rate of play, they're gonna be in trouble. Oh, it's something else too that I saw on the internet, and then I started paying attention because y'all know I watch games multiple times. And when I saw it, I went back and watched the last 2 games. And one thing I've been always complaining about while we were struggling, and defensively while we were struggling, is how much Jalen Brunson get put in pick and roll actions, and people pick on Jalen Brunson. I always say really good teams usually find a better way to hide their star if he's a defensive liability. The Knicks throughout that stretch did a shit job at that, right? Even last year in the playoffs, I felt like we did a shit job at hiding JB on the defensive end. So now what I noticed is that they're even switching before JB even get put in a pick and roll action. So like if they notice that like JB's man is going to screen as his man is running through the court and he's passing another Knick player, JB is calling for them to switch onto the screener. Which I'm like, yo, one, I feel stupid because I never thought like that was even a possibility of things to do, right? That never ran across my mind. And 2, why the fuck these millionaire coaches didn't think of this before? What took them so long?
I will say this. I'm pretty sure that Rick Brunson picked up on that. He was probably mentioning it to Jalen. Probably was mentioning it to Thibodeau. They never picked up on it, only till they noticed that Indiana was doing it sometimes.
Yeah.
But that didn't really do it. I know Detroit tried to pull that shit off last year, but they didn't have the personnel.
Yeah.
And that's why they got cooked.
Yeah.
Philadelphia tried to do that shit 2 years ago. They couldn't hang that. They couldn't hang with that shit either.
Yeah.
And,
so we were all wrong.
Okay. No,
I can't even see. That's Josh.
It's
Josh.
Yeah. All them light skinned folk look alike when your screen is small. I ain't gonna lie.
That was racist. Jesus.
Bro, it's impossible. I'm black.
You Panamanian.
I'm half and half. You know, my father's side is from the South. You feel me? My mother's side is Panamanian.
which is further south.
Yeah, in fact. But yeah, I think that is why you see that move alone, right? Is why you see us so much better on the defensive end over these last six stretch again the stretch of the last 6 games. We are like I guarantee I didn't get a chance to look up the stat, which is something that I wanted to do. But I'm pretty sure in the last 6 games we are definitely a top 5 defense, if not one, in those last 6 games, because I think just that little move and the attention to detail is much more pronounced than it was when we was losing a whole shit ton of games.
Well,
Yeah.
And I think in those games, we've kept 4 out of the 6. I think 4 out of the 6 games we kept teams under 100 points.
yeah,
We would have
Yeah.
kept the Lakers under 100 points if it wasn't for that guy making that last free throw.
yeah.
So
So,
their defense have
over the
stepped up
last
a lot,
6,
big
100
time. You
points
know, I
more.
think you're seeing more effort. You know what I mean? That effort that you wasn't seeing when we went 2-9 after the NBA Cup that we won.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It is the effort. I 100% agree with that. It's definitely a higher level of effort. But that tweak, I think, is the biggest difference. You know what I mean? Because in those other games, like they were literally attacking Jalen Brunson and Cat, like every chance they got. Every chance the offense got, the person who's attacking JB may not have scored, but that action led to someone getting a wide open shot. You know what I mean? Like, but the effort is definitely increased. You could tell they're feeding off each other on the defensive end. You know what I mean? And I love to see it. And OG Anunoby is absolutely um, the problem solver. Whoever's hot. It happened again tonight. Luka was wilding at what they did. OG, go get that guy.
You know, it's kind of funny because we were saying that we wanted JB to come in with that intro the same as Mariano. But I'm gonna say it. I think OG earned it now. OG,
Yeah.
go guard that nigga right there.
Yeah.
He's causing me problems.
Facts.
Yo, and if you notice, like the last 4 minutes of the game, we kind of kept them on lock. We kind of locked it. Like we was like, nah, that's it. Y'all not scoring no more. I don't care who's on the court. To the point, it was like, yeah, you know what? JJ was like, yo, you niggas gotta come to the bench because y'all, it's over. It's over. Once Shamet hit that 3-pointer, it was like, all right, let's go. Come on. Out of here.
I'm gonna say one more thing before I dip out. Yo, this has everything to do with the telecast. You feel me? You know how I hate these national televised games because I promise you the way that Reggie Miller, and I'm ashamed of Jamal Crawford, ashamed of him, because the way that they was giving the way they was on LeBron James and Luka's beef, I thought they was gonna get down on their knees on the court and suck them off right there. That's how it sounded. That's how it sounded. It was disgusting. Everything they did, every little step they made it past. Oh my God, they're just so great at passing. I've never seen anybody in the world pass the basketball before. Like, what the fuck, bro? And then the crazy part is the way they was explaining the game and talking about the game, you would think we was down 20. You was down 4. Even and you could tell Melo was bothered by how they was talking in halftime too. He had a little attitude going. I saw it because the Cousins was over there too. They was on the got 3000 train too. They was, oh my God. Oh, LeBron and Luka, they're so good, and the gravity that they draw. And I'm like, yo, we only down by 4. We only down by 4. And then when it's time to say something good about the Knicks, they kind of glossed over it real fast. Like, Yo, we out here hooping too. You may not be able to talk about JB or Cat, but you could talk about OG because he was wilding in the first half. You could talk about Josh. Josh was having a good game in the first half. But oh my God, I get it. It's LeBron and Luka, but still, bro, like y'all might as well. But they, yo, the sideline commentators might as well bought LeBron and Luka jerseys and wore them to the game. They might as well. It was disgusting. It's disgusting. NBC, y'all gotta be better. You gotta be better. You know what I mean? But yo, my bad, y'all, for interrupting y'all flow. I'm out. You know what I mean? Back to work I go. All right, later.
Later. That was yeah. With that being said, if you we do have to talk about the fact that today it was announced the NBA All-Star reserves were announced, and our boy, the big bodega, Karl Anthony Towns, is once again an NBA All-Star. Despite all this shit, and I'm gonna say this: Knicks Twitter has gotten a little bit even more toxic than usual, which is how hard is that to do? I mean, because if you've ever been on Knicks Twitter, you know how toxic it can be. But they took it up an additional notch, and yet here he is, Karl Anthony Towns, NBA All-Star. I'm not even sure what the format is. I know it's USA versus the world, but I don't know if he's playing for USA or he's going to represent the Dominican Republic, because his mom is Dominican. But Fraz, your thoughts? Karl Anthony Towns, NBA All-Star.
Honestly, he should be. I think he can lead the league in double-doubles. But he definitely leads the league in double-doubles for a reason. I mean, despite all that people have been saying about him, absolute rebounding tear in these last 5-6 games. When he plays at a high level, he is a very hard person to deal with. And I mean, I think he does deserve to be an all-star despite all the stuff going on swirling around him, because he's playing like one, even when he's not.
All right. I was going to go to Sis next, but I see Kev is like, he's got something on his mind. I'm afraid that the panic button is about to be pressed soon, but Kev?
Listen, man, like when it comes to the fan base, I'm over that all that toxic nonsense. I think it's ridiculous because we all know how it ends. You know what I'm saying? Once homie starts going off in the playoffs, is back on the ship we go. You know what I mean? And it never ends. This is just an every year thing when it comes to our players and our fan base. You know, they switch up. We all know this. This is how it is, man. They just the biggest switch up fan base that there is. I hate to say it because I'm a part of it. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. You got the half of fan base that sides with the guy. You know what I mean? And then you got the other half that's just gonna, nitpick every single thing. It don't matter what they do. Like he can have 42 rebounds in 2 games and they'll still go back and nitpick something that he didn't do right. You know what I mean? And I mean, to me, it's ridiculous, but it is what it is. I'm past it. I'm just excited that we yet again have 2 Knicks. Should have been 4 in my eyes because I feel like Josh Hart should have been an All-Star as well. You know what I
Amen.
mean? But should have been 4. You know what I mean? If you really think about it. Um, but whatever, it is what it is. I still appreciate having 2 Knicks in the All-Star game. We haven't had that in a long time. These past few years has been great for us. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Cat. All I can say for him is keep playing your game, keep doing what you do, head up high. You know what I mean? You know, hit the block button, mute people if you need to. don't pay attention to social media because social media will drag you down if you let it, and it'll fuck you up mentally. So I would tell Cat to just stay focused, play your game, um um and just do your thing, bro. That's it. Period. You know what I mean? Do what you're supposed to do. And that's help us win games. We traded for you. We brought you here to New York to help us win. You already did that by helping us get to the Eastern Conference Finals in 1 year with last year, and then this year we got a new coach. So he still got to figure out that whole process. And for him to still be a North Star, even though he's struggling with his shot this year, you still got to give the man some credit that he's able to do what he does. So shout out to him, man.
Sis?
I mean, to be honest, I was kind of surprised. I didn't think the coaches were going to vote him in, just because of all the hate that he gets, um, and the fact that he hasn't been playing well offensively. So I was really, really surprised when I logged on to X today and seen it. But I'm happy for him because there's still not a lot of big men in the game that can do what he does. And so, maybe him feeling, a little celebrated will get him out of the little funk that he's been in. And then we'll really be scary. But I'm absolutely happy for him. And just happy, All-Star Weekend is really ass, to be honest. Like it's not what it used to be. So if no Knicks were in it, I wouldn't watch it at all. Not 1 minute of it. But I'll tune in because our guys are in it.
I'm gonna be dead ass honest with you. I haven't watched an All-Star game in about a few years now. Because I honestly don't care about it at all.
I mean, it's just so stupid. Like the formats are dumb. Like go back East, West, whoever wins gets home court in the finals. Like make it simple.
Well, I mean, here they all are. It is, if it was under that format, you were looking at a starting five of Giannis, if he can play, Jalen, Cade, and Maxey versus Steph, Luka, Shea, Joker, and Wemby, and then of course the reserves. Scotty Barnes definitely, to me, deserves to be here. So does Donovan Mitchell. Pascal Siakam, I think he should be disqualified just on the very fact that Indiana's complete ass. Anthony Edwards is kind of a gimme. LeBron James, this is probably his last one. Jamal Murray's been playing great ball. Devin Booker's been playing great ball. Denny Avdija, that was a name that we haven't hardly heard about unless he's playing the Knicks. But when we hear his name, it's just like, yo, this kid is nice. So the fact that he made the All-Star team, congratulations to him and Chet Holmgren. It is what it is. So if you're keeping count here, you have 2 Lakers, 2 Thunders, 2 Knicks, and 2 Pistons. And then everybody else is pretty much down to 1. They're probably going to pick somebody, another person out if Giannis doesn't get traded. And even if he does, who knows where he gets traded to. I honestly feel that Karl Anthony Towns, without a doubt, deserved to be in the All-Star game. The man is a walking double-double. Not only that, but he was a top vote getter. But if you take that, out of complete consideration, you look at what the man can do, and you tell me who in the league does what he does. He's a walking double-double. He is one of the best shooting big men, even though this is probably the worst shooting of his career. And he's been hamstringed by a lot of ticky-tack fouls, limited minutes, and and a couple of injuries here and there. But the one thing I will say about him, people have been calling him soft, people call him this, people call him that. The one thing you can't say that he doesn't have, man has heart. He goes out there despite all the bullshit that gets said about him, despite all the names he gets called, all the fucked up memes, all the freak, all the things that we get upset with him, and all the criticism of coming to New York, the number one media market, but probably the harshest critics in all of the NBA and all of sports, to still come out and perform. And I'm not going the same sentiment. I think that once we hit the postseason, you're going to need the production and the energy and everything that Karl Anthony Towns brings to us. So obviously, despite all the trade rumors, I don't want it to happen right now. Talk to me again, in June or July. But right now, Karl Anthony Towns is and should remain a New York Knick. And if we win the title, keep him for life. He can go nowheres. Be honest, you can go to Golden State, go to Miami, go somewhere else, bro. Because right now, I do not see the point in doing anything that will alter this team's trajectory. And because right now, 6 straight victories after going, losing 9 out of 11 since winning the NBA Sippy Cup, it's tough, man. I don't know what else you can say. What else can be added? What more do you want from the man?
Don't I say all the time here? You want to win the championship? You got to have the corazón. Right?
Yeah.
All right. One quick final thought before we head on out. I think it goes without saying. Tonight we beat the Lakers in what might possibly be LeBron James's final night at Madison Square Garden. I know that we all have our mixed feelings about him. But really quick before we go, what do you guys think about LeBron James possibly have played his final game at Madison Square Garden, place where he's 24-10, has had many memorable moments. Me personally, I remember that one night, what was it, 2010 or 2011, where we thought that, it could have been like an audition and he may have came to the Knicks after that. This was prior to the decision. But aside from that, what takeaways do you get from the fact that you may have seen LeBron James play Madison Square Garden for the final time?
Listen, man, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm glad we busted his ass for the last time in Madison Square Garden. I'm glad we to see him upset at the end of the game was what made me happy. You know what I mean? Because of all them years of abuse that he's given us when we was trash. You know what I mean? So, to see him go out like that in Madison Square Garden made me very happy. I was very happy. So that's all I gotta say, man. Fuck that.
Prez?
Well, simply put, karma always gets whoever she's looking for. This time it was LeBron. I mean, it's always welcome to spoil the going out party for these stars who always used to come to the Garden and, violate us. That's the proper way you send them off into the sunset.
Look at that look on her face. Like, she's like, why do I got to talk about this motherfucker? Really? Why?
That's exactly what I think, because I don't like LeBron James. I don't like him at all. And so, fuck him. I'm glad he took the L by the Knicks. And I hope I never see him at the Garden again, because he ain't the GOAT. I don't care what anybody says. You can't tell me he's the GOAT when he's recruited stars time and time again to be able to win his championships. You're not the GOAT. I don't like what you did for basketball with this big 3 bullshit. So take that L and go back to LA.
how do I put this delicately? When it comes to LeBron James, obviously,
don't be delicate.
no.
Don't be delicate.
The only reason we see the only reason is
Listen, a chancletazo limpio, loco.
you know what the thing is that, like, all right. So I met LeBron James when he was a rookie. I met LeBron James because I think I mentioned this before. I used to work for Upper Deck Trading Card Company, and he became a spokesperson for them. And so a lot of his memorabilia, was created right before his very first game, and I actually had the fortunate of meeting him then. And I thought he was the coolest dude ever. Again, that was 22 years ago, and the thing about LeBron is that, yeah, he's in a lot of ways destroyed this league because of the way he handled everything in the social media age. Don't get me wrong. He may have destroyed the league, but he made himself a billionaire. So whether you think of it as he did right by the league or did wrong by the league, he made himself a billionaire. And I have no doubt in my mind, not only is he a Hall of Famer, but eventually he's going to end up being an owner. He's going to follow the same steps that Michael Jordan did when Jordan bought the Wizards and then eventually bought the Hornets. The fact that he played his last game in Madison Square Garden, it's not the same, obviously, as when Kobe played his last game. Same result, but not the same. Not the same sentiment or feeling. I wish him well. If this is his last season, if it's not, go fuck yourself. Go eat it. You can eat 20 dicks. The Frank stands open. I know LA. A lot of Laker fans personally that I've talked to cannot wait for that day to finally be over and you're away from the Lakers. What happens to your career after that? Whether you decide to go back to Cleveland, go back to Miami, or go do something else. The reality is that if you played your last game, hold that L. I hope it hurts. I hope it freaking stings. I don't know what to say anymore. After the decision, all the respect that I ever did have for you, and most fans had for you, went away. It's gone completely away. And I'm pretty sure he doesn't give two flying fucks.
All them Diddy parties too.
I ain't say nothing. Look, I don't want to know about that. If he ends up on an Epstein file, I don't want to know. Okay, don't want to know.
You can even see like Luka just probably dying for it to end already, bro.
Oh, I'm sure he is. I'm sure he is.
There's a lot of tension there, bro. You can see it.
I think I've said this since last year when Luka got traded. I don't see how that situation will ever work. When Luka is a generational talent that can, that you can build off of, but you're not going to be able to do that when the face of that franchise, whether it's willingly or unwillingly, depending on who you ask, because obviously, if you listen to Jeannie Buss, it's kind of like a 50-50 thing, but it was never going to work when you're trying to move towards the future and you still hold on to the past. It's just not going to work. And not when you have two guys. I mean, and don't get me wrong, they're trying. They're definitely trying. Luka's trying to make it work, at least for the rest of the season. Maybe they can make a semi-playoff run. But, the way it's looking right now, I just don't see it. They're 29-19. They're sixth in the West. They're 8.5 behind Oklahoma City, but they're tied with the Phoenix Suns. They can be very easily in the play-in, and depending on what ends up happening with Giannis, if Giannis ends up going west, or if any other trades happen between now and the trading deadline, if you want to at least make the conversation even more interesting about who the greatest of all time is, make something happen this season. Because right now, that conversation ended 3 years ago. It probably ended even longer than that. But for me, I've closed the book. There is no freaking discussion anymore. I really don't care how many points or how many more games you play. At this point, just settle with number 2. That's as high as you're ever going to be. Anybody else? Anything else?
Or maybe even number 3.
Thanks.
Everyone, Fraz.
I need you to hit the button.
Oh, are we there?
I got something I need to address within the Knicks fan community real quick. King Q, I told you I got you, right? Check this out. I'm gonna need all you Knicks fans who've been on the trade for Giannis bandwagon to hand your fan pass over to the parlay lord and go find another team to be a fan. I'm tired of seeing all these posts and reasons about why the Knicks should trade for Giannis. Hell, it's even to the point where I seen a Knicks fan on YouTube advocating the trade for Giannis, but you over here bigging up LeBron because of his recent success against the Knicks. Like, wait, are you a Knicks fan or elsewise? Like, what's going on? Like, pick a side and stay on it. Like, I'm tired of y'all Knicks fans talking about trade for Giannis when it's only been year 1 of the squad and already you've seen the success even with a stretch of bad play where we couldn't win games. Like, it's just getting to the point where you might as well not even be a Knicks fan no more. Just let me get that fan pass because I'm just tired of hearing all the nonsense with this trade for Giannis talk. When we all know the Knicks is almost at the second apron when it comes to any kind of trade, it gotta be dollar for dollar. So again, just do me a favor. Let's stop all the talk about trading for Giannis and let's start the talk about the stretch run to the playoffs and this Knicks team building on the recent success and the talent chemistry that's been untapped. Like, lock in with your squad, man. And if you ain't down with the Knicks, just give me a fan pass. And I'm done with you. Get them out of here.
Damn.
Yeah.
I feel that. I mean, February 5th, 3 p.m. Eastern can't come fast enough. I'm over this shit.
Alright.
Like, I just want to play basketball and win a championship. Like, fuck all this extra nonsense.
I mean, it's like deja vu all over again. It's every single year. It's BS already, bro. Like, it's getting old. You know, that's why I completely disconnected myself from all that nonsense, bro. You know what I mean? Because it's like, yo, you guys just, at this point, it's just clicks, bro. Knicks for Curry.
Yeah.
Well, that was the rant, folks. I have to echo the same sentiment that Sis just said. February 5th cannot get here soon enough. It is February 1st. I did say that if something was going to happen, it's going to start really gearing up as of today. And considering what just transpired on national television, who knows who's talking to who right now. But I urge you all that if you are just superstar hunting, do exactly what the parlay lord says and just hand over your fan pass. Start You know what? You don't even have to go too far. You can go across the bridge and go support the Brooklyn Nets. Because we're really trying to win a championship. But we want to win the championship with the guys that we have here. I actually do not want to lose any of our players. I've never been attached to players. I've always been about the name on the front, not the name on the back. But I'm not willing to dismantle, destroy, or ruin the team chemistry now that we're winning again. So I'm not going to say, I'm not going to flip the bird on anybody about this, but really, February 5th cannot come soon enough. Dead ass serious. But we will be back Tuesday night as the New York Knicks, can go for win number 7 as they head to the nation's capital and take on the Washington Wizards. Game time's at 7:30. I haven't checked the injury report to see if our good old friend Trae Young will be in attendance or is he even playing. Has he even played a game yet?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think he's played a game yet.
Oh, wow. Well, Atlanta sure dodged a bullet there, didn't they? But on some real shit, we will be back on Tuesday night to cover the Knicks and the Wizards. Followed by it's a back-to-back because the Knicks then have to come home to host the Denver Nuggets. What's going on right now? I'm pretty sure I was checking on the score a little while ago. They're losing to the champion Oklahoma City Thunder still 86-74 as far as the last I checked. But we will see them and we will be back. So for the host of Spark Plug Tea Time, thank you for showing up. Everybody, thank you so very much for showing up. We appreciate you 100%. Again, please like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the bell on the notification icon so that way you get all of our content, no matter when. Be sure to share the stream, share the show, share your thoughts. And if you haven't done so already, be sure to hit up the Knicks and Ish Shopify. We got some fire shit going on. And we will have some more stuff coming up down the pike. Me and T got to sit down. We got to come up with something. I don't know, ShamWowich. I don't know. But for Tea Time, for Mr. Kev Rodriguez, for the Parlay Lord Fraz Taz, for the First Lady, Mrs. Knicks, I'm your boy, the infamous one, Knickerbocker Ave, saying thank you very much. Keep talking that shit, New York. Till Tuesday night, please, somebody.
Boom shakalaka! The Knicks are grit. These kids and our party just lit. Talk to 'em.